Welcome to the Australia Vehicle Operation Guide. Driving and cab. Australian law requires all passengers and driver to wear seatbelts at all times while travelling. The motorhome is longer and higher than a standard vehicle, so be aware of the bigger dimensions and weight when driving. Start the vehicle by placing your foot on the brake and engage the gear in park or neutral. In diesel vehicles, turn the key slowly to the right until all dash lights appear. Wait until the glow light turns off. Turn the key further right and start the engine. If an alarm sounds when you start driving, check your power cord is not connected to the campsite. Check your side step is stowed correctly. Check the handbrake is fully off and you are not driving with your foot on the clutch or the brake. If your vehicle is fitted with a reversing camera, it operates only when the gear is engaged in reverse. Ensure the power switch on the display screen is turned on. Some vehicles have a collapsible handbrake. To engage the handbrake, lift the handle upwards and listen for a ratchet sound. To release the handbrake, pull the hand firmly upwards and with the button fully depressed, push the handbrake down to the floor. If the handle can be lifted without the ratchet sound, the handbrake is already engaged. For vehicles with swivel seats in the driver's cab, push the engaged handbrake down. Slide the seat forward, pull the lever, rotate the seat towards the centre of the vehicle and slide it back. Return seats to front facing before driving off. Always keep left. Drive carefully. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Indicate early. Allow extra space when turning. Be aware of the height and weight of your vehicle. Take regular rest breaks. LPG. Most vehicles have LPG supplied to operate the interior stove and hot water system. Some vehicles use LPG for the heating system and barbecue. On pickup, the LPG bottle is already full and connected to the vehicle. To start the flow of gas, twist the knob anti-clockwise all the way, then back a fraction. The LPG shut-off valves must be open and parallel with their pipes. In an emergency, turn the valves and the bottle off. LPG stove. If your vehicle has a stove ignition switch or range hood switch, ensure this is turned on. To ignite, lift the glass lid. Select the burner, turn the knob and press downwards. Light by pressing the ignition switch or by using a match. Do not cook on the glass stove cover. This must be kept up while cooking and not returned until the surface has cooled. LPG, hot water and house heating. If the LPG heats the water in your vehicle, the system could look like this, or this. To get hot water, ensure the LPG supply is operating. There is water in the tank and the water pump switch is on. Turn the water heater switch on and wait for the red light beside it to go out. This indicates the gas has ignited and is heating the water in the tank. Wait a minimum of 20 minutes for the water to heat. If the red light next to the hot water switch comes back on, this indicates ignition has failed. Turn the water heater switch off. Check the LPG and connections and try the water heater switch again. Remember, make sure the gas bottle is securely turned off before driving. 240 volt power. In most vehicles, the 240 volt supplies power to the microwave, power outlets and house battery charger. It also supplies the reverse cycle air conditioner and electric stove. We recommend you plug into the 240 volt power every 1 to 2 days to completely recharge your house battery. To connect to the 240 volt power, check the main campsite power supply is turned off insert the power cord into the motorhome and insert the other end of the cable into the campsite power. Turn the power on. 12-volt power. 12-volt power is supplied by the house battery and supplies power to the fridge, house lights, stove ignition and water pump. In some vehicles it also supplies power to the LCD screen, DVD player, range hood, outdoor step, awning and toilet flush system. The 12-volt house battery that is fitted to supply power to these appliances is a deep cycle battery separate to the vehicle engine battery. So if the house battery is completely flat, your vehicle will still be able to start. Although the house battery receives a top-up charge whilst driving, it is not sufficient to completely charge up the battery. It is recommended that you plug into the 240-volt mains power at a campsite overnight every 1 to 2 days to avoid the house battery being completely drained. The 12-volt battery isolator switch must be on at all times to allow 12-volt appliances to operate. Remember, plugging any appliance into the 12-volt socket in the cab while not driving will drain the starter battery and could cause a breakdown. Fridge. Most fridges operate on 12-volt and 240-volt power. For the fridge to operate, the 12-volt isolator switch must be turned on, as well as the fridge isolator switch, which may be located here or nearby the fridge. When you are not plugged into 240-volt, the fridge will be powered by the 12-volt house battery. The fridge works most effectively when it is not overloaded, the door is securely closed, and the outer vent dial is closed. While driving or plugged into 240-volt power, turn the fridge up to a high setting. At night, turn this down to the lower setting to minimise noise. At all other times, set the fridge on a medium setting. House lights. The house lights operate via the 12-volt power supply. Ensure the isolator switch and light switches are both on. Air conditioning and house heating. To operate the house air conditioning or heating unit, you must be plugged into 240-volt power. Using the remote or the unit, push the on button and press the mode button to cool. Press the fan button to set the fan speed. Push the temp arrows up or down to increase or decrease the temperature. The unit works best when the windows and doors are closed. Toilet. If your vehicle has a toilet switch, ensure it is turned on. To use the toilet, open the toilet cassette with this lever. To flush, push this button. The lever must be in the closed position to remove the toilet cassette and at all times while driving. To fill up the toilet flush water, open the toilet locker on the outside of your vehicle. This pipe indicates how full the water tank is. To fill the toilet water flush tank, pull the nozzle out, undo the cap, and fill the water here. Do not add any chemicals into this water tank. We recommend emptying your toilet cassette every 1 to 2 days. This must only be done at an authorised dump station, which are found in most holiday parks. To empty, lift the lever and pull the cassette out. If you cannot remove the toilet cassette, check that the toilet cassette is closed inside. Turn the nozzle out straight, unscrew the cap, and tip into the dump station. Push the button on the cassette to release any pressure inside the cassette. This will help release the contents. Rinse the inside of the cassette with fresh water and tip into the dump station. Add a small amount of fresh water and a toilet chemical into the cassette before closing. Then place back into position. To avoid leaks, ensure the cassette is correctly aligned by firmly pushing into place. Fresh water. Most vehicles have a freshwater tank that supplies water to the kitchen sink, shower and basin. To get running water, check your isolator switches on and turn on the water pump switch. If you want hot water, you must heat the water first. Refer to the hot water heating section. To avoid running dry, we recommend filling your freshwater tank every 1 to 2 days. To top up your freshwater tank, retrieve your freshwater hose from the vehicle, connect it to the freshwater source at the holiday park, and place the end in your freshwater tank. Fill the freshwater tank at a slow pace to avoid air bubbles. The tank has an overflow, so when the tank is full, water will start coming back out or underneath the vehicle. Wastewater. In most vehicles with a kitchen sink, and for vehicles with a shower and vanity, the wastewater drains into a wastewater tank. We recommend emptying your wastewater tank every 1 to 2 days to avoid overflowing. You must only empty your wastewater into an authorised dump station. To empty your wastewater tank, retrieve your wastewater hose from your vehicle. Connect it to the wastewater outlet under your vehicle and place the other end into the dump station at the holiday park. Pull the lever open to release the contents. Once it has finished draining, close the lever and detach the hose. The drains in the vehicle are very narrow when compared to drains found in a house. To avoid blockages, do not tip fats or oils or food particles such as rice or coffee grounds down the drain. Awning. To erect the awning, loosen the 2 wing nuts. Lift the 2 levers. Use the pole to pull the awning out. Tighten the 2 wing nuts. The awning should be used for shade only. Do not erect the awning in high winds or rain, or leave out at night when the vehicle is unattended. Ensure the awning has been retracted and securely locked in place prior to driving. We wish you an unforgettable holiday experience.